Stop surging if you value your life. Woo! Oh, baby, the double! Congratulations on making one of the best, worst decisions of your life and getting into Tarkov. This game is incredibly complex, but it is so rewarding when things go well. And so today, I wanted to give you some of the base level knowledge and tips to understand what's happening in the game, as well as start to have a little success in your early raids if you are new to the game. And so, let's make it happen. So when you first start the game, one of the major decisions you're asked early is USEC versus Bear. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter. The differences are superfluous. Now, one big thing to note is that the USEC do have an advantage right now, as in one of the maps, one of the AI groups won't initially fire on the USECs, but they will on the Bears. So, something to consider as you make the decision. Okay, so when you first start the game or you boot up the game again, this is the first menu you're going to be taken to, and we're going to start off by going to our character screen. Now, this is the hub for everything to do with your player, and what you'll see on the right-hand side is your stash. Now, these are all of the items that you own. Whether you've bought them or you found them in raid, they are yours to keep, but you're going to want to build up your stash. It's one of the main objectives of the game. In addition to the items, up top here we have our currencies. We can see here there are 3 of them. Now, on the left side, we have all of the gear that is currently on our player. These are the items we would take in raid with us. Now, all of the items in your stash, those are totally safe. The items on your character, however, you are risking when you go into raid. If you die, you lose them. The one big exception is your pouch down here. If you die, you get all of the items that are in that pouch back. So it's a great way to put valuable items in going into the raid. Or if you find something nice in raid, you put it in there. You still get it if you die. But this is the main hub for all of your loot and your character, and something you're going to be visiting very often throughout the game. Here we are back on the main screen, and now we are going into traders. And these folks here are 8 AI merchants that you can buy and sell gear to, and they are going to be a massive part of your Tarkov journey. Now, each of these different 8 traders buys and sells different things, and we have it up on the screen here, what they do. But because they're such a big part, worth going in and kind of poking around for yourself and seeing what they have. When you first start the game, one thing I would absolutely recommend you do, go into the traders, and you'll see some of the items are grayed out. If you hit the middle mouse button, you can examine them and see what they are. You get experience points for it, so it's a win-win. Now, you're going to be using the traders throughout your entire Tarkov experience. It is one of the biggest areas of progression because you can level up the traders from level 1 to level 4. Once they get upper levels, they have significantly better gear. So leveling up is super important. And how you do that, you can see up here, there's 3 requirements. You need to have a certain level on your character, which you just get by playing the game. You need to have a certain reputation level with the trader, which you will get up by doing quests for them. And finally, you need to have a certain amount of money spent. Usually this one takes care of itself, but you can easily just buy and sell items to them to get that up. But leveling up the traders is something super important that you're going to want to do. Now, in addition to just buying and selling items, these folks here are also your source of quests. And to know that they have a quest, you see the little green check mark here. That means they have a quest you have not accepted. You can click on it, go into tasks, you'll see the task, you hit accept, and it'll tell you the requirements here. Once you have completed that quest, this will change to a blue check mark, and you'll want to go back in, same area, you'll hit complete up top here, and one thing to make sure you do is the rewards for the quest will come up in the messenger. You'll get a message like this, incoming package, click on it, get it, and that's how you get the rewards for your quests. And, of course, in your character tab, on the task page, you can keep track of all of the quests that you have. So, before you go into raid, you're going to want to know how the healing system works in Tarkov, because it is incredibly complex. And spoiler alert, you're going to get shot in this game, and if you survive that engagement, you're going to want to know how to heal up properly. And there are 5 different healing mechanisms you need to know about. First is restoring health, second is blacked out limbs, bleeds, fractures, pain. Those are the 5 overview areas we're going to hop into. Now, in order to restore your health, if you get shot in one of these limbs and it gets damaged, but it doesn't hit 0, there are 6 items that you can use to heal up your damaged limbs. What happens if they do hit 0? It's a great question. Well, if it is your head or your thorax that goes to 0, don't worry about it. You're dead. You're back in your stash. Those are the 2 critical hitboxes that you'll die if those go to 0. Now, the other ones, if they go to 0, you can get those limbs back. There are 2 different options of healing items that you can use to surgery these limbs. And after a certain amount of time surgerying, that limb will be restored at 1 health, and the maximum health that it has will be reduced as kind of a penalty. But then you can heal that up just like you would normally. One thing to note is there are major repercussions to having blacked out limbs. If it is your arms, you're going to have an incredibly difficult time aiming. If it is your legs, that's super serious because it will reduce your overall walk speed. You will no longer be able to sprint, and you will no longer be able to jump. Now, your stomach, if that goes to 0, you will start taking increased amounts of hydration and food down here below. That will start to deplete at a very rapid rate. You want to get out of rate immediately if that happens. The other thing to note about blacked out limbs is if you do get shot in that limb that is blacked out, that damage is going to radiate to your other body parts, and if your overall health goes to 0, once again, you're dead. In addition to just taking damage from bullets, something else that can happen is you can get a bleed, and they are damage over time effects that are applied to your character. And you will see just like a little red box below that'll show it, and all of your limbs will start to tick down. Now, really, the only difference between the light and the heavy bleed is heavy bleed, you tick down a bit faster. Now, for both light and heavy bleeds, there are specific items that you can use in order to get rid of them. For the light bleeds, it is the bandage or the army bandage. For the heavy bleeds, it is the tourniquet or the hemostat. And the difference there is just how many uses they can get. Additionally, some of the bigger items you use to restore your health can also be used to take out heavy and light bleeds. Now, in addition to bleeds, you can also get fractures. I know, a ton of ways to get hurt in this game. Fractures are broken bones. It'll be indicated by a little box again below the broken limb. And you're going to see similar penalties as if your limbs were blacked out. For your arms, you're going to have difficulty aiming. And for your legs, that big list of penalties. Again, there are specific items that can repair these. The final piece is pain. If you are shot, you have a broken limb, a blacked out limb, your character will be in pain. There are a number of painkillers that you can use, ranging from the 4-use, basic painkiller option to some of the upper tier, Golden Star, Vaseline, ibuprofen. You will always want to carry them because if your leg is blacked or broken, same with your arms, or you have the blurry vision from the pain, if you pop one of the painkillers, it will clear up your blurry vision, as well as it will help you particularly with the leg problems. It will allow you to walk at full speed again. It will allow you to sprint and jump, but if you do both those actions, you will take damage, but it's now an option on the table. Okay. You're ready to go into raid. What do you want to bring in addition to your healing items? Let's go through it. First and foremost, I always start off by taking on armor. Now, armor can be incredibly complex in Tarkov, so I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Armor comes from armor class 1 to 6, with 6 being the best. A couple of things to notice is that if you put on armor, it's not going to protect you from head to toe. Instead, you can look down here after double-clicking on the armor, and it will show you which of the body parts that it protects. Additionally, you can see in the bottom right corner, 50 out of 50 means it is for full durability. If you survive a raid and your armor gets damaged, you can repair it by right-clicking it. Repair, it'll take some money, and I'll show you how much. Always keep your armor in top condition because it will protect you less if it is hurt. Now, in addition to protecting yourself, obviously you're going to want to deal just a little bit of damage. And so, of course, you're going to want to bring a gun. Now, gun creation in Tarkov is incredibly cool, a little bit more advanced. Typically early on, you're just going to be bringing basic weapons that you find, and if you click on it here, you'll see all of the stats. You can worry about that later. We'll have another video, of course, to show you how they look like. But one thing that's different about Tarkov than other games is you have to provide your own bullets and your own mags each time you're running into raid. And so on here, you'll notice up top, we've clicked into it, 9x19. That is the ammo type for this gun. And we need mags that go with it. They give us some here. It says the same name, but if you double click on it, what you'll do here, compatible with available, and if you hover over that, it'll show you which guns it is compatible with. Always important to check. In addition, if you unload the mag and you drag this around, you'll see it goes green for what it is compatible with. Another nice way to know. Now, Tarkov was nice. They gave us guns with mags and ammo that all worked. What if you need to buy them? Well, if you have the gun, what you want to do, right click, linked search, and this is going to take you to the flea market, but the traders are also listed here as well. And we're going to want to drop down, gear mods, magazines. These are magazines that go with the gun that you link search. Additionally, you can do the exact same thing with the ammo. You can see the rounds, and that's how you know you're making sure you're buying the right ammo for the right guns and the right mags. Now, in addition to those two, you're going to want to bring in a tactical rig. Now, the tactical rig serves two purposes. The first is that, of course, it gives you more storage to put items in. The second is that anytime you are using a keybind, hit R to reload, G for grenade, or you can keybind items. You know, if we bring a healing item and we hit 4, we see that it goes to our bar down here. In order to use an item off of a keybind like that, it has to be in either your pockets or your tactical rig. If it is in your pouch, if it is in your backpack, you cannot use it. So all of the stuff that you're going to be using immediately with your character, bring it in that tactical rig. One thing to note is that there are some tactical rigs that double as armor. It's both of them. Armor works the same way. No, you cannot double up body armor and an armored rig. The easiest to explain, of course, is a backpack. You don't have to bring it in. You can find these in raid, but it's just a nice way to have some additional storage for your raids. Now, this is one thing to always bring in. Something that's pretty unique to Tarkov, I believe, is your earpiece. These are going to help you hear in raid. They're going to reduce, certain white noises. They're going to amplify things like footsteps, gunfire. It's going to give you a ton of information, and you have to wear these every raid. Otherwise, you're going to be running around deaf, and it is not going to be a good time for you. Now, the final item you might want to bring in is something that's a little controversial. It is a helmet. Some people think these are worthless. Some people swear by them. One thing to note with the helmets, click on them. Armor class, similar to, your armor. But what matters is the ricochet chance. Always go with ones that say high, as that's just going to deflect the bullet off. The reason some people say don't run it is because they're expensive, and 99% of the times you're shot in the head, it's going to be a fatal shot, but it's up to you. I personally won't wear them. So you're ready to go into raid. We click on Escape from Tarkov, and it gives you the option of PMC versus Scav. Your PMC is your main character that has all the gear that you want. You will start at the beginning of the raid, and this is how you're going to progress. The Scav is a really cool way to get additional gear. It's going to spawn you in the middle of an existing raid, one that's already going on, with free gear that if you extract, you get to keep. I would always recommend running your Scav when it's up. Great way to get some extra kits for you. It's free money, and it's free experience. So here are all of the maps that you can go into, and I don't really think it matters which map you choose to begin with. What I would recommend is pick one map. Learn that map, because the spawns, the map knowledge, and the extractions are a massive part of Tarkov. We'll put a link down to Map Genie down below where you can get some really great information on the maps. And when you click on the maps, you get different times you can run it. Run day raids, you can actually see. Night raids are probably for a little bit down the road. So you've clicked in the map, you picked a time, you get this screen. You can run offline mode. Without other players, you don't risk your gear, but you don't get to keep any of the gear you find in raid. It is a great way to learn the spawns and learn the map. Additionally, you can put on PvE, the AI scavs and bosses in order to practice. It's a great way to learn the map. I would recommend running a few of these. The final page before you're ready to hit go into raid is insurance. Now, if you die, you lose your gear. Unless you pay a fee, you can click on the items you want to insure, click insure, you pay a fee, and if at the end of the raid, no one has taken your items out of raid, you will get them back after a little bit of time. Same with the quest, you'll get a message from Proper, and you'll be able to get some of your items back. Very worthwhile to do, in my opinion. Everyone, I really hope that this guide was helpful. Let me know what other questions or guides you'd like to see down in the comments below. I plan on coming out with a lot more of these for beginner and veteran players, just to help continue to enjoy Tarkov. And if you're looking for any of the guides we already have out, check out our 12.12 playlist. And thank you so much for hanging out.